Greetings from the screen, everyone. I am Jovel Jean Kabungan and one of your presenter for today. Every day, we ask ourselves where we came from or how our society developed and how it progressed and continuously evolving. We cannot give answers to ourselves, but of course, thanks to science for giving us fascinating theories and breakthroughs and giving answers to that questions. There are different scientific revolutions or drastic changes which contribute on the development of our society from the past, which greatly contributes to our present. And one of that is our topic for today, the information revolution. The earliest writing system, Sumerian pictograph, marked the beginning of the information revolution. Then there is Gutenberg's printing press, which was invented in 1455. The typewriter and the telegraph became popular. Today, technology is widely employed, making it easier to communicate, disseminate, and preserve information. But what is the information revolution? The information or digital revolution is a paradigm transition from the mechanical to the digital age that affects many facets of life with the primary goal of increasing efficiency. In other words, the information revolution is the big change in society that happened when people started using computers, the internet, and other digital technology to create, share, and use information easily and quickly. For us to better understand information revolution, here's a simple example. Before, the information was spread slowly through books, letters, and newspaper. But now, with technology, we can send messages instantly, search for knowledge in seconds, and connect with people worldwide. The same way with keeping files. Before the computers, we keep files or we archive files in filing cabinets, but now we use database. Also in sending mails or sending letters, before the computers, we send mails via trucks or mailman. But now we can easily do it online. Also in getting goods or buying groceries and paying bills. Before, for us to get goods or to buy groceries or to pay bills, we have to go to the physical store to do it. But now we can do it easily online. So from the word itself, revolution, it is called revolution because it transformed how we work, learn, communicate, and live. As a consequence of this revolution, there are shifts or changes in economy, employment, education, and politics. Let us first talk the economic shift. There is the creative destruction and the bloom of knowledge industries. The next one is the emergence of knowledge industries. Telecommunications, software development, medical equipment, and pharmaceutical research and business innovators, to mention a few, are examples of industries that heavily rely on technology. Their competitive edge stems from the fact that they hire inventive and creative people that help them establish their firm in sectors that are better suited to information work. An example of that is the business process outsourcing or the BPO in the Philippines. During the information revolution, the Philippines became a hub for call centers and IT-enabled services. So instead of relying on traditional industries like farming or manufacturing, many Filipinos shifted to knowledge-based work, answering customers' call, managing online services, or handling data for international companies. These industries grew because it uses knowledge, communication, and digital tools rather than physical labor. For example, a farmer's son from Nueva Ecija, who might have once followed his parents into agriculture, can now train in IT and work in a call center in Manila, earning a higher income by providing online customer service to clients in the US. So, in short, knowledge industries are those that rely on brain power, information, and technology rather than the physical labor or raw materials. Another consequence of this revolution is the employment shift. The manual labor force is dwindling as jobs increasingly demand knowledge and creativity as a result of advances in digital technology. Best example of this is before computers, many offices hired typists and secretaries whose main job was to type documents on typewriters. However, when computers and word processors became common, the demand for typists declined. At the same time, new jobs like IT specialists, software developers, and data analysts emerged because businesses needed people to manage and use the new technology. So, this shows how the information revolution shifted jobs away from manual office work to more technology-based careers. Another one is the shift in education, wherein it alters teaching methods, tactics, and content to focus more on critical reasoning abilities so that graduates can better synthesize large amounts of data and become more competitive in the information field. The best example of this is the libraries to online learning. Before, the students relied heavily on libraries, textbooks, and face-to-face classes for learning. But with the information revolution, knowledge became available online through search engines, ebooks, online courses, and educational platforms like Google Classroom, Coursera, or even YouTube tutorials. Teachers shifted from being the sole source of knowledge to becoming guides who help students navigate information. Therefore, this shows how education moved from being limited and location-based to being global, digital, and more accessible anytime and anywhere. And lastly, this revolution has an impact in political aspect. There is a transformation in the manner in which governments interact and provide services to the citizens, manage government supply chains, conduct internal government processes, and control the content and flow of information in the society. An example of this is the traditional campaign to the digital politics campaigning. So before, political campaigns relied mostly on posters, rallies, TV, and radio to reach voters. With the information revolution, politicians began using the internet and social media like Facebook, Twitter, which is now X, and YouTube to connect directly with millions of people. This shift allowed faster communication, more citizen participation, and even online movements or protests that could influence government decisions. In that way, politics moved from being controlled by traditional media to being shaped by digital platforms and online public opinion. How about an example that is beyond elections? Before, people had to line up for hours to government offices like NBI, LTO, or SSS just to get clearance, license, or pay contributions. But with the information revolution, many services became digital. For example, the NBA clearance online application system and LTO LTMS portal. These portals or this system now let people apply, schedule, or pay online. So, this shift made government services faster, more transparent, and more accessible to citizens. Therefore, government services moved from being manual and paper-based to digital and online. So, thanks to the information revolution.